on Supreme TV and Supreme TV YouTube and Supreme TV Facebook.
Indians line up, and that is a pretty nice looking side in there. The two Patels up at the top there. You've got the likes of Kieran Powell in there, and then we look down to the bottom. The English stalwart Ravi Bopara has been around a long time on these franchise scenes, so that's a pretty good looking side there who've won the toss and elected to have a bat.
Absolutely.
Match today.
Yeah, well, this is how the premium Indians line up, and that is a pretty nice looking side in there. The two Patels up at the top there. You've got the likes of Kieran Powell in there, and then we look down to the bottom. And you wouldn't change a winning team like that. Sean Finley at the top, he was a standout with the bat, been around his 68 a long time on these franchise scenes. It was the man of the match. That's a pretty good looking side there who've won the toss. Found himself on a hat-trick twice to have a bat today. Couldn't quite make it 3 and 3. But I don't think he's too. Yeah, well, this is how the premium Indians line up, and that is a pretty nice looking side in there. Continue that. The two Patels up on top there. You've got the likes of Kieran Powell in there. And you wouldn't change a winning team like that. Sean Finley at the top, he was a standout 2 years ago, been around his season a long time on these franchise scenes. It was the man of the match. That's a pretty good looking side there who've won the toss. Found himself on a hat-trick twice to have a bat today. Couldn't quite make it 3 and 3. But I don't think he. Yeah, well, this is how the premium Indians line up, and that is a pretty nice looking side in there. Continue that. The two Patels up on top there. You've got the likes of Kieran Powell in there. And you wouldn't change a winning team like that. Sean Finley at the top, he was a standout player. His 68 time on the franchise. It was the man of the match. That's
next bowler in. And I just want to give you a little history of Mario Laban. Mario Laban is one of the talents that was discovered by American Premier League in our first season. That was his first big tournament he played. We gave him the opportunity. He was selected through our rigorous trial sessions that we did across the United States. And he was the best find of the trials in the first season. Next bowler in, 16 wickets. And I just want to give you a little history of Mario Laban. Mario Laban is one of the country since then. Talents that was discovered by American Premier League in our first season. That was his first big tournament he played.
Well, he's done him for pace there. And we saw this yesterday, actually,
he was selected
with this
through
Windees side. They were very clever with the way they rotated. Spin from one end, pace from the other, and it was these two ends where we had pace coming from.
And he was the best find of the trials in the first season. Next bowler in,
16 wickets.
And I just want to give you a little history of Mario Laban. Mario Laban is one of the and he was the best find of the trials in the first season. Next bowler in.
But you never know.
Well balled. Appeal for LBW. And it's been turned down. That was close. Laban is very, very dangerous when he's at his peak. And as you can see, the batsman beaten completely by pace.
But you never know. Well, he really liked it, didn't he? He was
Well
pleading with the umpire, hands on hips, double
Appeal for
teapot.
LBW. And it's been turned down. That was close. Laban is very, very dangerous when he's at his peak. That's a great shot. That's gone past the
Live and exclusive on Supreme TV and Supreme TV YouTube and Supreme TV Facebook.
He's been around a while. We've seen him in England colours.
So
We've seen him in all sorts of franchise colours.
After
and he
winning
comes
the toss
in
and
at
electing
3 to bat
and Terence
for the premium
he has
Indians alongside
first wicket of the
Rajdeep
day.
Dabar. It's nicely worked into. He's been around a while. The leg side.
A little bit. Move. Middle. Pull his right arm over. Right arm over.
Bond steams in. Shorter, kept down nicely. Bapara looking to try and scamper through, but sent back. Again, nicely kept down. Le Bon's really found his pace today. Don't know what he ate for breakfast, but whatever it was, I'm having it tomorrow because he's really steaming in, finding pace, and he's doing the batters for it at the moment. Exciting to hear about Jay talking about how Le Bon was a discovery of the American Premier League 2 years ago, which is an exciting way this tournament works, actually. You have players that are picked, but then there's a trial process, open trials, and that beats the diving fielder, and that could race to the boundary, although it is slowing up. And Finley, he had to do a lot of running yesterday on his way to 68. Well, have got in that ice bath, had a few massages, and is running around the field again today. Quick turnaround for this Windees side. Played yesterday, sort of late morning. Get the fuel in, get the pizza in. Again, just not getting it through that infield. Just the one wicket to fall so far today, that of Kieran Powell. Terence Hines picking up his first wicket of the day. Again, well kept down by Bapara, but again struggling to pierce that infield. And that closes out Le Bon's over. So 4 overs gone. A little discussion going on out in the middle, these two premium Indian batters. How are they going to accelerate through the gears a bit? Not quite hit their straps yet this morning. Yes, only the 1 wicket to fall, but need to try and find a few more boundaries. We saw intent in the first over, that big 6 coming off the bat of Rajdeep. And it looks like we're going to go back to the opening bowler. Raj Nanan went for 11 from his first over today, but was really impressive yesterday. Almost as impressive as those sunglasses, which I really wish I could rock. Well, that's darted into the pitch by Nanan. Some of the coolest hair around for sure. Coolest hair and coolest glasses, actually. Top of both those leagues at the moment.
You change it?
Left arm in again, darted short again. Bapara just struggling to time at the moment. He's very quick through his overs, Nanan. Doesn't really give the batters time to settle. That's defended back up to the bowler. Gets a round of applause from his keeper. Behind the sticks is that captain, Jamal Hamilton. Not quite timed again, but good running from these two. Rajdeep is speedy through the wickets, backing up nicely, and he's quick to scamper through.
You want the same thing? Why? Right. No.
Gives himself room nicely there, Bapar, but again struggling to pierce that infield. The field is in because we're still inside that power play.
What's left? 2?
Just over an over left of the fielding restrictions.
Just in front there. Yeah. Oh!
That's just clubbed into the leg side. They'll come through for 1. Bapara will retain the strike. He moves on to 3. So end of 5 overs. Premium Indians 26 for 1. That wicket to fall, just that of Kieran Powell. Tidy over from Nanan that time. 11 from his first, but just 3 off this over. All coming in singles. And they'll just be wondering how they can accelerate these two. With 5 overs in, 1 left of the power play here at the Motor Stadium in the glorious state of Texas, USA. So final over of the power play to come. Terence Hines, unsurprisingly, given the ball again, picked up that lone wicket of the day so far, that of Kieran Powell, caught by Jonathan Fu out on the boundary. Pretty regulation catch from Fu, not much of a celebration. And Hines is in, and that's well kept out and well fielded.
26 on the board. Windees looking pretty relaxed out there in the field, which is a surprise to no one. Just having a quick discussion. Hines sorting his field out. So you've got a man out, deep square, 2 out on the leg side, long off, long on, and that's quick through the air and well kept down by Bapara. That's sort of all you could do with that. He's looked really good so far, Hines. As Jay Shah rejoins me. Busy man today, Jay.
Absolutely. It's not easy to run a tournament this level, but the match is going very well. Rajdeep is still there. Terence comes in, passes the umpire and bowls, plays and misses.
Yeah, not easy to run a tournament, do the commentary. You never know, you could be subbed in at any moment.
Absolutely.
You'd be heading off out there. That's what happens. You come in and do commentary with me, and then you know what? Next day, you find yourself out in the middle, like Kieran Powell.
14 of 14, Rajdeep still there. 26 for 1, 6th over in progress. Terence comes in, passes the umpire and bowls. Plays and misses, almost hit the stumps.
Yeah, they're just struggling to time it at the moment, both of them out in the mare. Rajdeep, you know, he's faced 15 deliveries, but he's just not quite found his timing yet. He's rehearsing the shot again. We've seen a lot of ghost batting, a lot of rehearsing of shots, because they're just not quite reading the pace of these Windees bowlers.
Absolutely. Indian batsmen warming up. This is their first game, so seems like they're having a little hard time connecting.
So 2 balls to come in the power play. Short, kept down, well fielded, and they do manage to come through for the one on the rebound in the field. So 1 to come in the first power play. You feel pretty good, I think, with the Windees after watching these Indian batters make that start 11 from the first over. They've done well to keep them to just 28 as we come towards the end of the 6th.
Terence to continue, comes in and bowls.
Short. He's that to duck.
That's an over.
End of the over. 28 for 1 Indians at the end of the 6th over.
Yeah, you think the Windees are probably the more confident of the 2 sides at the moment, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. I said that at the beginning of the game. The Windees seems like one of the best sides in the tournament. Very hard to pass by. The Indians are going to have a tough competition ahead of the game today. So how's your trip been so far?
My trip's been great. The journey here was not the best. It took me 25 hours.
ඇසිපිය හෙළන මොහොතකදී විශ්වය පුරා සිදුවන ඔබ නොදකින රූපෙළහරක චමත්කාරය දිනපතා සවස 5ට විශ්ව සැරිසර.
What happened?
Get my luggage. Eventually got a flight from there, got on the plane, got off the plane again. It's a very long story. We'll have to come back to it in a minute. As Rajnanan is to continue just 3 off his last over. So then we got on the plane. We got kicked off the plane again because the crew had run out of time. I made it to Houston and I had no luggage. As Nanan continues. It's a nice looking cover drive, but picks out the fielder. And so last night at 11:30, I finally had a call saying that my suitcase had arrived. So we were in the same city, me and my suitcase, and it made its way to my hotel. So I'm finally not wearing the clothes that were at the bottom of my bag. And that's worked into the leg side, and they'll just come through for the one. So now I've got everything now. I've put my face on today, so I feel much better.
That's good. Is it your first time in the States?
It is, yes. Very exciting.
Oh, hasn't been a pleasant experience so far.
You know what? The cricket happened, and that's all that matters. Who needs makeup and clothes anyway?
Absolutely. Oh, he's got him! Raj Nanan gets rid of Rajdeep. Beautiful delivery.
Yeah, it's really good work from Raj Nanan. Expensive first over, but he's recovered nicely, and he's just tried to swing that into the leg side. Not been timing it very well since he's been out there since the beginning, just not quite found his rhythm. And the Windies are very much on top. There you go. Bye-bye off stump. Bye-bye Bales, and bye-bye to Rajdeep. He goes for 15 from 17. The Indians 29 for 2.
Indian team is struggling.
Batter in, fellas. Batter in, fellas. Batter in, fellas. Let's go, AJ.
What they need is a partnership, a solid partnership. They need to make sure they get to 130, 140, 150 would be a competitive score. They're up against a very, very tough and organized Windies team. Remember, they are the defending champions from the first season.
Well, it brings Saharawardi Shuvo out to the middle. So he comes to join Ravi Bapara, who has not quite found his rhythm either today. I think that's just the thing with these Indian batters today. They're just not quite reading the bowlers. They're not getting enough of a look in to be able to get the gauge on them. So Ravi Bapara just 5 from the 12 he's faced so far. So it's going to want to try and push up that strike rate if they're going to try and post something competitive. Yesterday we sort of talked, you know, your ballpark, you want 150, north of 150, up to that 160, you'd be pretty happy. They made 156 yesterday, the Windies, in their first innings.
I'm very impressed by the pitch. The pitch has a lot to offer for the bowlers. As you can see, there's spin, there's swing. If you bowl in the right spot, there's definitely a lot to offer. Beautiful delivery.
Yeah, and a good big long stride out to that one. And I think that's what you talk about, bowling in the right spot. In the first over, Nanan missed it a little bit, but he's right on the money again today, and that's a lovely little deft touch. Just be the one. Well, the end of a pretty good over from Raj Nanan. The end of his third, just the 2 runs coming from it and the wicket. So 1 for 16 for him so far. The end of 7 overs, Indians 30 for 2.
Landscape in the United States.
Well, it's an interesting one because it's, you know, it's going on, it's on such an upward trajectory, cricket in the USA. I do a lot of work in women's cricket as well, so we've seen the US women's team, and I watched the under-19s at the World Cup earlier this year. It's a growing trend, and then obviously with the World Cup coming up next year, and then the LA 28 Olympics,
absolutely,
it's the place to be for the growth of cricket at the moment. But cricket globally as well, just in general, is growing at such a rate. We see, like I said, in women's cricket, with the likes of the regional World Cup qualifiers, the likes of Vanuatu heading to the global qualifiers, Rwanda, Zimbabwe women. So it's a really exciting prospect, just cricket in general and the growth of it around the world. And then tournaments like this, you get to uncover talent that might not have otherwise got that opportunity. You talk about, you have the open trials, which so many things don't have. So it gives players the chance to show what they can do without having to go through a draft or a pickup that kind of way. Well kept down.
Yes, so that's the vision of American Premier League, is to give aspiring cricketers the opportunity to come and showcase the talent. We had trial and talent hunt programs run across the United States: Boston, New York, California, Texas, Washington, D.C. Hundreds and hundreds of players came as far as Canada. They came to give trials for the American Premier League. A lot got selected and a lot got not selected, so a lot of hearts were broken. It's very tough when you see somebody traveling and not getting selected, but it's a very competitive league, very competitive players.
As Searles continues, and that's flat batted up to mid-on, and they'll just come through for the one, long on I should say. But that's what's exciting, I guess, and you don't want to go to trials and just be selected because you've travelled a long way. That's that's not how it works. So it's exciting that there's such a large pool that want to play in the tournament, that you then have that talent to choose from. And obviously you've got players from different corners of the world out in the middle at the moment. Ravi Bopara comes from my neck of the woods. And again, no run.
Sahavardi has been trying to steer it down to the third man. He's tried this almost 3 times now, but every time he's found the fielder. Bowler comes in, bowls, flighted delivery, played on the onside for a single.
It's been a while since we've seen a boundary from this Indian side, and they'll know that, and they'll be thinking, we just need to break the shackles and try and push that run rate up. They're only going at 4.3 at the moment, and if they continue this way, it's not going to be a difficult target for this Windees side to chase down. They've got some good batting in there, like we say. Finley yesterday with his 68, he was really impressive, and the others, there were a lot of starts. There were a lot of sort of 18, 19s in there, so players who have seen a bit of the bat now. They're in. And that has just beaten everything.
Ravi Bopara plays and misses. Very, very experienced player. Ravi Bopara played for the English national side for a very long time.
He's everywhere really these days, isn't he?
Yes, high-end demand. He better show some magic from his bat today for the Indian side, because they are struggling right now. 33 for 2 in 8 overs. Well played. Beautiful shot. Racing towards the boundary, but the fielder cuts it off.
Yeah, it's still going to be just one, that. Well, end of 8 overs. The Indians, 34 for 2. So they're only going at 4.25 and over. That's something they're really going to have a think about, because it is not enough to post a competitive score. 2 strong batters out in the middle, but both struggling for their timing. And there's that lovely shot. If we look at this, the 2 wickets to fall, the 2 openers. Powell, he was the first to go. Regulation catch for Jonathan Fu. And then Rajdeep bowled by Nanine, who struggled in his first over and has really found his rhythm again with the ball. The man with the coolest glasses in the game. You can see just a little bit of shot rehearsal going on out in the middle as the drone gives us that lovely view of this beautiful ground here in Houston, Texas. Well, he was the man of the moment yesterday. Hayden Walsh Jr. picked up 5 for 17. And that's not quite going to reach the boundary, but they're going to scamper back for the 2-all. He was impressive yesterday. He's another one of those in this league that is really just shone, and it's giving him that chance to show what he can do, isn't it? And he was loving it yesterday. I think that's what I already noticed from game 1 of this tournament, how much the players are enjoying it. You know, it's competitive, but it's played in such a good nature.
Absolutely. You'll be surprised as to how many calls we have gotten, all our franchise owners bombarded with calls from across the globe, as far as countries in Africa and Australia and New Zealand wanting to play in American Premier League. And it's a very hard choice for the franchise owners to select these players, because there's a lot of good talent out there, especially in the United States. Cricket is being played in almost every state. There's hundreds and thousands of clubs. So this is what American Premier League is about.
Again, they'll just come through for the 1. Yeah, and I really like that about it, you know, how it's one of those things. So I say to people, you know, off to America to do cricket, and even now people are like, oh, really? And you think, well, this is what it's about. It's about showing the talent that there is in this country, and leagues like the American Premier League giving that sort of global coverage, which is what we have here. All of you tuning in from all over the world, giving that global coverage and that getting the eyes on it, getting the eyes on the tournament around the world and these players, and showing that it's not just those nations that you traditionally think of that play cricket and have tournaments like this.
Yes.
We're into season 2.
And the American Premier League has was the first one to do a league at this level back in 2021. So we set the standards. A lot of different leagues followed suit. And we do have the honor of being the first professional league which was concluded at this level. And talking about women's cricket, we just want to let you know that American Premier League has announced a women's cricket league for next year.
And this is what I love to hear.
And we have the honor of having done that as well. We will be the first league in the United States to run a women's cricket league, which will be huge as well.
Shall I book my flight now?
Absolutely. Would you be playing or commentating?
Oh, I think I'm a bit rusty. I'm a bit rusty. Get me on a player mic. I'll go out there. Mic me up in the field. But that's a really exciting prospect as well. Obviously, women's cricket is, you know, going through such a rise globally, and then tournaments like this giving that chance as well. You know, we see a lot of rise of women's franchise tournaments, and there's so much talent out there to be discovered. Coming round the wicket, shorter, kept down. Feels like he's missed out a little bit there. Saw a word in, he's just indicating that bounce. Which is interesting because we actually didn't see that much bounce yesterday. Again, round the wicket, just not timing it, hitting into the ground. Yeah, so how many teams would the plan be for a women's tournament then?
About 8 teams. We'll start with 8 and maybe add in the following seasons. Since we announced, we've gotten a lot of calls, a lot of inquiries.
Full toss kept down, well fielded, off his own bowling.
Sohrawardy is struggling. 10 balls, 5 runs. 40 for 2 Premium Indians. Siobhan comes in and bowls. Comes down the wicket, plays straight to the fielder. He's not being able to find gaps.
I like that from him though. He's struggled staying in his crease, so he's having to change it. He's changing up, he's taking on that bowler, and he's looking to try and do something different. Yes, he's not pierced the gap there, but he already looked like he was timing it better. And he's just giving the bowler something to think about. He's not worried to take him on. played uppishly, but fielded at deep point. Just a quick fielding change. You see the drone hovering in front of me, giving those nice shots. Ravi Bopara doing a bit of gardening.
So what do you think of the arrangements made by American Premier League so far?
The arrangements, as a tournament, I think it's fantastic. I really like that you sort of, you know, bringing cricket to America obviously is a big one, coming to Houston and then giving the chance for, you know, veterans of the game, the likes of Bopara, but then also younger players who've come through to get to play alongside them. So it's that real mix of sort of youth and experience, to use an extreme cliche. As we finish the 10th over, Indians 42 for 2, and I think we're probably going to, I imagine we'll be having a drink break in just a minute. But no, it's a really exciting tournament for me to get to be part of, actually, as well. I very much threw my name in as much as the players did, so it's an honour to be able to come over and watch and chat about it. I just get to talk about cricket all day. It's great for me. Well, I think with that, we're going to have a quick drinks break, and we will be back with you in just a moment. Well, welcome back. If you look at that Manhattan there, I mean, it started well, 11 from the first over, but the Premium Indians are struggling with the bat at the moment. They're struggling to find much. And basically, they need a boundary. These Windees bowlers, though, they can take a lot of credit for this. They've been impressive today, kept it tight. Good lines, and just not allowing them to get to any rhythm. So Hayden Walsh Jr., yesterday's player of the match, 5 for 17 yesterday, just 6 coming off his first over today. Oh, he's on the hunt for a wicket.
You hear what he said?
Yeah, swept very fine. Fielder giving chase, but that is the much needed boundary for the Premium Indians. And it's signalled wide by the umpire as well, so that's bonus runs for the Premium Indians, but at the moment they'll take it however they come.
Absolutely. I think a lot more aggression needs to be shown here by the Indians. They don't have much time. They do have 8 wickets, so they need to put the foot on the pedal.
It's hit with some force back past the bowler, again picks out the fielder.
Bopara seems to be struggling, connecting with the ball.
Yeah, just 13 from 22 deliveries faced by Bopara so far today, and we do know what a destructive batter he can be. That's why he's such an asset to the tournament, to this Indian side, coming in at 3. But today, just not quite found his rhythm yet. Got that left-hand, right-hand combination, though, this Indian batting pair. Uses his feet nicely. Again, will just come through for the 1, but I do like to see that intent from Sorawardi, taking on the spin and taking on the bowling and giving himself more of an aggressive intent.
It seems like they don't have much choice at this point. They have to take risks. They have to come down the wicket. They have to take the bowlers on.
Yeah, at the moment they're sort of dealing in singles. That the only boundary so recently is come off a wide. So
they do have a lot of wickets. I'm not sure what's holding them back.
It's interesting, isn't it? 8 wickets in hand, and you feel like during that drinks break they would have been having a bit of a discussion, like, right, we're going to have to really take this on. And again, he uses his feet, comes down the pitch and changes his mind, and it's again just a single.
A lot depending on Bopara's shoulders. He's the senior most player in the team. He needs to use his experience, steer the Indian team through this struggling time.
One to come in the 11th over. Again, struggling to find that timing, darted in by Hayden Walsh Jr. Well, that closes out the 11th over. Premium Indians 52 for 2. Remember, they did win the toss and elect to bat, so not sure this was quite the situation they would have been hoping to find themselves in after 11 overs. And they would have been watching yesterday, saw the Windees post that 156 in their opening innings, and actually not too many of the batters looked that fluid. Like I mentioned, it was just Finley with his 68 and everyone else sort of got starts, but they still managed to get themselves to a 156. Yes, 19 extras from the American bowlers, but they would have been looking at that and thinking, right, none of them have really fired that much other than Finley. We know we've got that firepower in our batting lineup. Go out, have a bat, set a high target, scoreboard pressure, and defend that with our strong bowling. But they've been really pegged back by these Windees bowlers.
The experienced lad from London, Ravi Bopara on strike. Well played. That's a beautiful shot, and that crossed the boundary. That is a glorious stroke.
Yeah, and he's played that with real intent as well. Yes, it's sort of top edge, but he knew really what he was trying to do with it, and he's trying to take on this bowling now. He's just used the pace, and as soon as he got anything on that, that was heading to the boundary, and that's the first boundary off the bat in a long while.
That's a classical shot.
Yeah, just one bounce 4.
Sliced through the cover area. Laban continues. This one down the leg side for a single. Ravi Bopara now is 20 of 26. Laban steaming in. Once in a while he bowls the odd slow deliveries. Batsmen have to look out for that. Sohrawardy on strike. 57 for 2. Laban comes in, strikes it through. That's a beautiful shot, racing towards the boundary, but the fielder cuts it off.
Yeah, nicely played off the back foot. But again, just the one. So get Ravi Bapara back on strike, and he might be trying to look to take the aerial route, which is what Sorawadi is rehearsing at the non-strikers.
Laban to continue. Runs in and balls. Bapara plays it right straight to the fielder.
So with this tournament, you know, I'm just being quizzical. While I've got you here, I'm going to grill you basically. We are in Texas, which is home of the grill and the barbecue. We'll come back to it after this delivery, but I want you to tell me how it all came about in the first place, how the idea was born. As Laban is in again, and that's mistimed again by Bapara, so there's no run.
Yes, Georgie. So American Premier League is a phenomena. It's been it was all started back in before COVID, and it was mostly intended to attract fans and fan engagement through. That's a good shot, edge towards the boundary, and that's going to go all the way to the boundary for 4 much needed boundaries. Bapara is taking the Windees on all by himself.
Yeah, he's going to need to do that. Probably not quite where he was aiming. Find the top edge back over the keeper, but runs his runs. And that's 4 to close out the 12th over. Premium Indians 62 for 2. Ravi Bapara moves on to 23 from 29.
Yeah, so getting back to the idea of American Premier League, as you can see, all our franchises are based off of cricket-loving communities that reside in the United States. And that's why this idea has been a hit, because there's the nationalistic passion behind these teams. America has, through immigration over the past 2 decades, has a huge Southeast Asian expat population. People from the Caribbean reside here as well, and there's a huge English community in the United States as well.
Walsh Jr. to continue with his third. Well, Sorawadi looks to take him on again, doesn't time it, and they're going to scamper back for 2. That's good running. That's good awareness from Sorawadi. Knew that the fielder had a lot of work to do. Had to get down, get himself stable again and get the ball back in. So picks up 2 off the first ball. He moves on to 11 from 16.
He's bowled him. And that is the end of Sohrawardy. Beautiful delivery by Hayden Walsh Jr.
Well, Hayden Walsh Jr. is having a pretty mighty fine 24 hours, and he's picked up his first of today, and that is the biggest smile in the tournament at the moment. He's a grinning man, and he should be, because he's just got rid of Sorawadi. He was looking to try and accelerate through the gears. We'll see it again here. He went to try and go aerial, and he just swung across the line. And Jamal Hamilton almost couldn't believe it, what happened in front of him there.
Yeah, so Sohrawardy completely missed the line of the ball. Hayden Walsh Jr. He's having a great tournament so far. Beautiful action. It came off of his pads.
Well, that brings Sunny Patel out the middle to join Ravi Bapara. Bapara at the other end just watching proceedings at the moment, but he's on to 23 from 29, so he's just increased that strike rate somewhat with those boundaries, looking to try and go aerial. These two are going to need to try and take on this bowling. Just 7.5 overs to come, and still only 64 on the board, which is not enough at the moment.
Someone from the Indian side has to come in and play a special innings over here. We got about 8 overs left in this innings. They are struggling. They're struggling big time.
Well, they do still have 7 wickets in hand, so they do need to start being aggressive and taking risks. That's a quicker delivery.
That's an appeal for WW. Just give it.
Well, well, well. I mean, can you call it a hat-trick of doubles? Because that is the 3rd time in the last 2 days that Hayden Walsh Jr. has taken 2 in 2 balls. And what a tournament he is having.
Sunny Patel completely bamboozled. Had absolutely no idea. That is a gem of a delivery.
Yeah, well, it didn't take the umpire long, did it, to give that? Well, Hayden Walsh Jr. Could it be 3rd time lucky? He finds himself on a hat-trick for the 3rd time in just 2 matches. And Ahmed Butt comes out to the middle, wielding his bat like a sword, swinging it side to side. And Ravi Bopara has just been at the other end watching wickets tumble. Bit of a fist pump, a bat tap, and they know there's
Every morning හිමිදිරියේ චමත්කාරය හෙට උදෑසන 8ට Supreme TV බලන්න. So just over 7 overs still to go in this innings. I mean, at worst, they need 100 on the board. There's something mental about reaching those 3 figures. They've got the wickets in hand. There's still 6 in hand, and you've got 2 men out in the middle who can hit a long ball. Goes again.
That's an appeal for WW. It's closed. Umpire says no.
Well, again, trying to take on that reverse sweep.
Hayden. It's Hayden magic in Houston. That was very close. I'm surprised that he has been given not out.
We'll close out the 13th over. 66 for 4, the Premium Indians. And you can see Ahmad just rehearsing that reverse sweep.
Although he almost got out, but at least the intent is there, which is a good sign. He's trying to take the bowlers on. He knows there's not a lot of overs left, and it is definitely not time to stick around and do nothing. Bopara on strike. Raj Nanan is the bowler. 7 overs to go. As you can see, the keeper behind the wicket's very active. Nanan comes in and bowls.
You see, Nanan has had a change of end. So for his 4th over, he's swapped ends.
Nanan continues, comes down the wicket. That's a beautiful shot. That's down the wicket. That's gone for 4. What a spectacular shot that was. Under pressure. Takes Nanan on.
Well, this is just what the Indians needed, this injection of firepower into this batting lineup. Ravi Bopara, just a little shuffle, regulation, and the fielder was never in with a chance of cutting that off.
I have a feeling this is going to be a big over for the Indians. Bopara on strike, using all his experience. Nanan comes in and bowls. That's a good shot for a single.
That'll just be the one. So Bopara at the non-strikers again.
10 and over from here could take them to 140. At least they could have a competitive score on the board. Ahmad Butt facing Nanan, bowls. That's a good shot. In the gap. That's a glorious shot. That's going to go to the boundary. No, it's cut off last minute. Great effort at the boundary. Ahmad Butt is showing some class here. Some damage control. Well timed, well placed.
It's good work out in the field as well, that relay fielding to cut it off. It almost had 4 written all over it from the minute it hit the bat, but good chase. They've been good in the field, this Windees side.
Nanan comes in, bowls. Oh, that's gonna be close.
I think it's just fallen short. Or has it? No, he's got to go. Well,
he's out.
Very little celebration from the Windees side there. Made me think that perhaps it hadn't quite made it, but great diving effort. Well, the Windees are well and truly on top here. And Ahmad, he has to go for 3 from just 4, and the Indians 73 for 5. It was a very muted celebration from the Windees. Had me all confused. I say that as if it's difficult. So 73 for 5 inside 14 overs, just over 6 overs to go. Ravi Bopara is still out there in the middle, and he's finding a little bit of rhythm. Moves on to 29 from 33. The plan, you would think, as the Indian side, as the sort of lower order come in, would be get Ravi on strike. And he's joined by Jeremiah Louis out in the middle.
Tough luck for Ahmad. He seemed like he was trying to take the bowlers on. Very close catch. Great effort by the bowler. It's always very difficult to dive in front of you and get a catch during your bowling action. Executed the catch perfectly. Raj Nanan to Jeremiah, comes and bowls. Straight to the fielder. 7 of the over and a wicket. 73 for 5 of 14. Ravi Bopara still out there. I have a feeling he has some magic to show today. Saw some glorious shots from him in the past.
Well, Hayden Walsh now has 7 wickets in the tournament so far. He's still got an over if he wants it here today, and it looks like he will be taking the next over. Flags fluttering in the distance. A bit of a breeze up out there, but definitely warmer than it was yesterday. I can see blue skies. The breeze is just dispersing the clouds. It was somewhat dappled above us. I have no idea what different clouds are called. But they're not Simpsons clouds, I can tell you that.
I think Ravi Bopara should see this over through carefully, because Hayden Walsh is looking very dangerous. He's taking 2 wickets in an over. He bowled very well yesterday. I think they should just try to get 6 singles of this over and take the rest of the bowlers on. Indian batsmen have not been able to read Hayden properly. He's having a grand old time out there, as you can see. Comes in and bowls. Straight back to the bowler. Beautiful bowling.
Yeah, pressure's on. Building the dots here. Going to have to force Bopara to try and go aerial, take on this bowling.
Hayden to continue. He comes in, bowls. And that's another one! Bopara goes!
Well, 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 Hayden Walsh Jr., what a tournament he is having. That is his 3rd wicket of the day. Regulation, caught and bowled.
Hayden Walsh Jr., you beauty. The big man goes. Bopara is back to the pavilion.
Yeah, he has to go for 29 of 37. Walsh Jr. did well get his hands up in front of his face in his follow-through. Well, 3 for 20 for him. Bopara, he goes for 29 from 37. The Indians 73 for 6. Well, we talked about that 100, and still 5 and a bit overs to go, but looking ominous for the Indians. 4 wickets in hand. Hayden Walsh, 2 to come from him.
The West Indian teams are always known for their pace bowling. It's surprising that their spinners are doing such a great job. The wicket definitely has a lot to offer to spinners. I know the Indian side have some good spinners as well. It seems like a low-scoring wicket. The Indian team needs to put up at least 120, 130 from here. And I think we will have a game. We'll have a very interesting game ahead of us. Hayden to continue. Well bowled.
It's at that point you almost expect him to just take a wicket with everything. Bopara not quite got a hold of that one. Walsh Jr., hands above his head. Easy as you like. No way he was dropping that, especially off his own bowling. Well, he's got 1 ball to come. What can he do with this? Can he close out with a wicket maiden? And yes, he can. Well, that's a wicket maiden for Hayden Walsh. He finishes his 4 overs with figures of 3 for 20. And that over seeing the scalp of the dangerous Ravi Bopara. All of his own doing. Caught and bowled. And he sent the Englishman on his way. And that's a very large grin. There's a very happy man out there. 8 wickets so far in this tournament.
The new batsman in is Adil Bhatti. He's a very solid player and all-rounder. We need a magical innings here from Adil Bhatti to get the Indian team into a solid position, or at least a position where they can fight, because 73 is definitely not going to do it. Very first ball, Jeremiah coming down the wicket, plays it down to the onside for a single. 16th over in progress, 74 for 6. Hayden Walsh Jr. is having a great tournament. Second match. Jawan comes in and bowls to Adil. Plays it to the onside for a single.
Well, he's made some ground there, Hamilton, hasn't he? Set off from behind the stumps to do the fielding. There was almost a chance of a 2 there, but I think it's a difficult situation weighing this up at the moment. Are they going to push and put that pressure on and try and push for those 2s?
Or are they considering that they've only got 4 wickets in hand now?
Javon to continue. Comes in and bowls. Places it in the gap for a single. The Indian batsmen should have a target in their mind at the moment. At least 120.
That's well bowled again. This is tidy from Javon Seals. I think the problem they faced here, this Indian side, they just have struggled to find the boundary. So in good field placement, they haven't been able to pierce that field, and they've just not been able to take on the bowling. They haven't found their rhythm to find the boundary rope. And we saw a 6 in the very first over, and we thought we were in for a big one. And that's well kept out.
Four of the over so far. They need a boundary. Jeremiah Lewis.
Well, Shortly he looks to club it into the leg side and doesn't get anything on it. So closes out the over. Just the 4 coming from it. So at the end of 16, Indians 77 for 6.
I think the Indian batsmen are just completely misreading the pitch. The timing has not been there.
They've been somewhat bamboozled, you might say, by some really fine bowling. Hayden Walsh Jr., again the pick of the bowlers. 3 for him. Raj Nanan adding to more spin wickets with his 2. But they would have been pinning their hopes when it looked like Bopara was just getting going. And then a bit of magic again from Walsh Jr. Said, nope, you're not having that, I'm having it. It's my day, my game. This is my trophy and we want to defend it, us Windees. So back to pace. And now scamper for the 1 there. They're going to have to scamper 1s wherever they can at the moment.
Adil Bhatti should have taken this ball on. It was wide, it was in range. You definitely shouldn't miss balls like these when your team is struggling. Terrence to continue, comes in and bowls. It's well played down to the long side. They're trying to come for the second. It's going to be a close call. Only a single. All our viewers joining us, a warm welcome from Houston, across the globe. American Premier League Season 2. Terrence comes in, bowls. Once again, completely misses that.
It's nice that he's kept it wide. He's had him fishing outside off for that. Could very easily have found an edge and they found themselves 7 down. But exciting that viewers and listeners and fans all over the world can tune in to this Season 2 of the American Premier League. Although if you're an Indian fan right now, you'd be biting your nails.
That's a great shot. That's a beautiful stroke. Straight to the fielder though.
And that's what's happened a lot. They're just picking out these fielders. $80 for 6
as it stands, just over 3 overs to come.
Once again.
He's chucked it all at it. He's all swing and not made contact. It's lovely bowling.
That was a beautiful delivery. Completely missed it. And that was a classic googly. Caught and bowled. That was a big wicket.
Well, he looks to come down the wicket and he sort of makes it even more difficult for himself, finds it on his feet and closes out the over with a dot. Just 3 coming from that over as well, so 17 gone. Premium Indians 80 for 6.
What do you think of this batting so far, Georgie?
Well, the problem they've had, they just haven't found their timing. No one really has looked particularly comfortable, and actually I think that's a testament to the bowling. You know, we talk so much in short form cricket about bish bash bosh, hitting it to all parts, but to be able to appreciate really fine tight bowling like this is quite exciting as well. You know, we all love seeing boundaries and sixes, but I think maybe because I'm a Badger, I like to see the bowlers on top.
I think on top of good tight bowling, the pitch is all seems like it's also a little tricky. The ball is staying a little low. It has the odd spin in it, and then I think it's the first match, so the Indian batsmen I believe are just getting accustomed to the pitch. As we see, Bopara struggled in the beginning, but he seemed like he came back pretty strong. You just have to spend some time, get accustomed to the wicket and accustomed to the bounce, and I think there's definitely runs in there for the batsman. Mario comes in and bowls. It's an appeal for a caught behind, and the umpire says no. The umpire seems pretty sure. I don't know what they're appealing about. Mario Laban is a speed gun. Pace. Bounce. Tall lad. There's a funny story behind Mario Laban. I'll tell you after this delivery. And that's up in the air. That's a good shot. Oh, what a catch!
What a grab! Leaping to his right like a salmon. One-handed grab. Oh my goodness. You will not see many better than that.
What a catch! That might just be the catch of the tournament. What a spectacular catch. Diving to his left, one hand, Windees. They seem like they are prepared for this tournament. Let's take a look at this. Wow. That is brilliant. Picture perfect.
Yeah, Javon Seals, I mean, it's drinks on him tonight for something like that. What a grab. What an absolute worldie of a catch. A specky, if you like. So often you take those, it finds its way into your hand, and when you hit the ground, the elbow hits the ground, and the force of that forces the ball out. But he grabbed on, got a big old mitt around it. It's like a baseball grab. It's like he had a baseball mitt on. It wasn't going anywhere. Well, they find themselves 7 down, the Premium Indians. Mario Lebon, he's earned a wicket today. He's bowled really well so far today, so nice to see him rewarded with a wicket. And that is definitely one for the highlights reel.
Absolutely, and as I said, there was a funny story behind his selection. Mario Laban should thank his girlfriend, because she's the one who called in. She's the one who called in to our selectors.
Right arm over, 4 balls to come. Right arm over.
At the last moment, we were having our final trials for the season 1, and his girlfriend called us at the last minute, pleading us to get Mario into the team. And I guess it was just his lucky day. The selector listens to the girlfriend, and here he is today, steaming in. He's now very well known all across the United States. He's played some top tournaments. He's got pace, he's got guts.
And he's got this for his highlights reel as well. Absolute tip-top stuff. But that's what's exciting. You should always listen to the girlfriend. That's my theory. That's what we're taking away from today.
There's always a woman behind a successful man.
There you go.
Well bowled. There's nowhere to run for the Indians today. The bowling is tight, the fielding is spectacular. Windees have got their grip on them from all sides. Great performance.
Short from Le Bon, and again it will just be the one.
That surely was a spectacular catch. Very, very, very nice. One hand diving. A lot of action happening in APL.
So one to come in the 18th over. Final delivery from the man with the best girlfriend in the world. And it'll just be one to close out the over. So at the end of 18 overs, Premium Indians 82 for 7. All right, 2 to come. Who's going to bowl the penultimate over, the crucial penultimate over? Just 82 on the board for this Indian side. And what a performance it has been from the Windees in the field. The bowlers have done the business. The fielders have taken the catches. We saw their absolute specky from Seals. And it sort of summed it all up really in one catch. They can do no wrong today. Here at the beautiful ground at Mosa Cricket Stadium. And that is not the happiest looking Manhattan. Didn't need a crane to build too many of those tall buildings. And just 2 to come. What can they make of these final 12 deliveries? As Hines is in, and
that's up in the air. Only for a single. Oh, they take 2.
Yeah, full toss was there to be hit. He sort of sliced it. Didn't quite read it. It sort of sat up, and that could have been the chance to try and break the shackles on this lack of boundaries for this Indian team.
They need to hit every ball out of the park from here on. That's a wide ball, and that's gone all the way to the boundary for 4, lucky 4 runs. No matter how they come, the Indians need them.
Well, I think he's managed to get some kind of bat on that. I don't know if it was under edge, but I'm not sure they'll mind. An ugly 4 is still a 4.
$88 for 7. 6 runs from the over so far. They need about another 10 runs from this over. Comes down the wicket, plays well bowled. Terrence saw him coming down, changed the pace. Windees looking in a very good position at the moment. They've got the Indians struggling at 88 for 7. 89 for 7. 9 deliveries left in this innings. Terrence comes in and bowls to Patel. It's close. They go for a single. The Indian team should be planning the second innings as of right now. They need to come back into the field with a plan. They need to attack. They need to take in some slips.
Yeah, they're going to need early wickets, that's for sure.
They are not winning this match if they don't take wickets.
Yeah, good use of the feet. Again, just the one.
Beautiful stadium, Musa Stadium. This is the only cricket stadium in Houston, Texas. It is an ICC approved venue. Terrence comes in and bowls.
Yeah, again, not timing it. That'll just be the one. Is Terrence Hines hobbling slightly there? Or does he seem all right? Well, end of 19 overs. Premium Indians, 92 for 7, so 6 deliveries, 6 legitimate deliveries to come. What can they make of these ones? It will be Javon Seales to take the final over.
I think they need to charge every delivery. Every delivery counts here. They need runs. They should be targeting a 20 runs over. Take the score to 110, 112. Give somewhat of a chance to the bowlers, because at the moment it seems like an all Windees match. Terrence to continue, comes in bowls. Slower ball. That's a mix-up. It could be a run out. That's a throw. And he misses. That might go to the boundary. No, the fielder cuts it off.
Well, he saw him coming. He went early, got down early to go for the scoop. And he read it, Javon Seales. Changed up his delivery. You can see it here. He just sort of came across and he's flicked it into his own body. Then they've looked to take on the run. Confusion in the middle. Bowler took his time. And in the end, it was a pretty easy, safe run.
I know.
So 5 deliveries to come, 93 on the board.
Complete chaos in the middle of the pitch. Javon is outsmarting the batsman, changing his pace. Batsmen have no clue.
Well, I think we're just waiting because the ball ricocheted off the bat into the helmet, perhaps. So the physio is just coming out to have a check, do all the health and safety checks necessary. Safety of players is paramount. They're just coming to have a look. Just chatting to the fielder. He's chatting to the batter who's saying, "No, I'm all right. It didn't hit me there. But you've got your steps in now, physio, so you'll be all right. You can go and have some lunch." I always like watching physios run on. Sometimes when I used to play, we used to, sort of time the physio and see how quick they could be. And some that they'd really take it quite.
Javon to continue, comes in balls. Beaten by pace.
Well, that sort of sums it up, really, doesn't it? They're just beaten by the good bowling. 4 to come. Clubbed away into the leg side. This could be boundary. Yep, and that is the boundary that they needed. They could just push themselves up to those 3 figures.
Finally.
All right, 3 deliveries to come. That's really nicely worked into the leg side. No fielder out there. Weren't stopping that. 97 on the board. In comes Seals. Well, it's up in the air, and it's going to bisect the two fielders. The sweeper comes round. And it's good work scampering back for two. So score moves on to 99. 2 deliveries to come. What can they make of these final 2, these Indian batters? They've struggled all the way through. No one's really got going, really found any rhythm or timing. The left-hander faces up. And he goes for the swing, and it's great work behind the stumps by Captain Hamilton. Done for the pace. Right, 1 delivery to come. 98 on the board. 98 for 7, the Premium Indians. Remember, they won the toss, and they chose to bat. This would not have been the plan. Slower ball, clubbed away into the leg side. Fielder, sweeper coming round. Well, they have done it. They've made the 100. 102 for 7 is what they close out their 20 overs on. The Premium Indians winning the toss, choosing to bat. They make 102 for 7 in 20 overs. 4 off the final ball, just pushing them to those 3 figures. They know it's been a struggle. It has been an uphill struggle. It's been great work in the field with the ball by the Windees, the defending champions. They won yesterday. They set 156 yesterday. Well, today they have been set 103 to win this and make it 2 from 2 against one of the strong sides in this tournament. That Premium Indian side, they wouldn't have expected just to make 102 when they won the toss and chose to bat. So the Indians, they've done their work with the ball. This is the story of the day so far. It's a bit of a sorry tale for those batters. Top scorer Ravi Bopara, he eventually fell to the very in-form Hayden Walsh Jr., who picked up another 3 wickets today to go with his 5 yesterday. Raj Nanan, he was pretty good too. Another 2 for him. And we saw that catch from Javon Seals off the bowling of Mario Lebon. That is one for the highlights reel at this glorious stadium. Well, 2 for Nanan, 3 for Walsh, and 1 each for Laban and Hines. Javon Seals didn't pick any up off his own bowling, but he does have that catch to write home about. Well, that is the story of the bowling day. Just the 7 overs, 172. It's been tight, and I think Roshni has one of the men of the moment down for an interview.
Just gonna ride it right now and, you know, take as much wickets as I can.
And you guys are going to be putting up to bat about 102 on the board. What are your thoughts on that wicket, though?
Yeah, I think it's keeping a little low. The power play is going to be very important, so I think we're going to come very hard in the power play, and you know, hopefully by time we reach the middle, we can just kind of cruise it through.
And lastly, your thoughts, you know, on that total and the boys out there. I know you have Aaron Jones, some more batting power as well.
Yeah, we you know, strengthen our batting, so, you know, hopefully we can come through with you know, a win today.
Well, all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Roshni. I mean, what a tournament he is having, Walsh Jr. Another 3 wickets for him today. That caught and bowled, easy as you like. And this is the story of the innings. It's all been about the Windees today. Spin doing the job mainly, but the Pacers had them too. But that man there, look at that smile. And look at those sunnies. Caught and bowled, easy as you like. Well, with one caught and bowled comes another, like London buses. Umpire taking evasive action and diving out the way, never in doubt. Well, this was quite a moment. It was up, it was hanging. He dived, he leapt like a salmon, and it stuck. Well, that is the story. The Premium Windees need 105 from their 20 overs. They need to go at just over 5 and over if they want to bag their second win of the tournament so far, make it 2 from 2. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after the break.
Sean Findlay, who yesterday made 68, striding out at the top of the innings. They could make very quick work of this, alongside Aaron Johnson. Two strong opening batters, the left-hand, right-hand combination. That target, 105. Yeah, there would have been some thinking to be done by the Indian captain, Keval Patel, during the innings break. You'll have had to... would have liked to be a fly on the wall for that team talk. But the Windies, they know they need just 105 runs. They can get this done quickly, get themselves home early, feet up and watch this afternoon's game, because luckily for you, the action doesn't end after this game. We've got a double header every day for you. And this afternoon is no different. It'll be the Premium Americans taking on the Premium Packs this afternoon. The Americans were defeated by this Windies side yesterday, so we'll be looking to fight back again today. But this is the game in hand. This is where the concentration lies. It is all about the Windies versus the Indians. The Windies need just 105 to win this game, make it 2 from 2. And we are very nearly underway. The sun is out. The wind is fairly strong in the distance. We see the stars and stripes glittering behind the fielders in their bright blue of the Premium Indians. And went with those lovely orange pads that I've got my eye on. And they know they need early wickets.
Absolutely, they need early wickets. They need to attack. They should come into the field with an attacking frame of mind. That's the only way they can make an upset here. Otherwise, it's all game over for the Indians. They need to take in some slips.
Opening with pace, left arm.
Well bowled.
Yep, Stephen Wigg, the left armour, tall seamer, kicking off proceedings. We opened with spin in the first innings, but the Indians going for something different.
I think they should switch to spin as soon as they can, because the pitch has a lot to offer the spinners, as we could see. The magic from the Windees side, ball was spinning.
Just adjusting the field. Remember, we've got those fielding restrictions in the power play.
I'm surprised that I don't see a slip. They definitely need some slips in their early wickets. Appeal for a caught behind. They're all appealing. Umpire is not moved at all. Fielders are convinced. Running in all directions. Big appeal. I'm not sure what they're appealing for. Appealing for a caught behind. I'm kind of impressed, Georgie, with Stephen. He seems like he has pace and swing.
Yeah, and he's found it early, which is what they needed. It's the left armour, and I think there's something about left armers and left-handers in cricket. It always just looks so much more stylish as well, and he's really got something. He's found it. He's coming from a good height. He keeps himself tall in his action.
Good start, good aggressive start. That's what they need. They need to put the pressure. They need to get a slip in there. Very, very important.
Up in the air, fielder can't quite take it, just over
the stretched out arm. He needed his go-go gadget arms, go-go gadget long arms, but goes over and it goes for 4. And that's the first boundary of the innings, of the chase. They need just 100 runs from 116 now. He'd been tidy until then, but just a little too full. And in his hitting arc, the fielder for a minute thought he might have been in business. That's a good recovery. Well, for 5 so far from this opening over. There was 11 came off the bat of the Indian openers in the first over. And that's up in the air again. It's going to land safe. And they close out the first over with a dot. So the Windies, they're up and running in this chase. 5 without loss, need 100 more runs to win this game. And having played 2 days running, they're going to want to try and get this wrapped up quickly. Get home, get in the ice bath, get some lunch. And the subfielder just running on with a change of bat here. Aaron Johnson decided he's not happy with that one. He wants a different one. So it looks like it's going to be Adil Bhatti throwing the ball to start from this end. Just running through, rolling his arm over a little. Bowling to the left-hander, Sean Finley. And he's got absolute pace. Picks out the fielder, Finley. He's bowling wheels, bowling absolute rockets there. Kick things off. You can almost see its tail as it flies through the air like a meteor. Well, not something you see it too often, a genuine leave in a T20 game. I know it's not a big target to be chasing. Well, they've gone up and they think it might have wrapped him on the pad. Sort of muted appeal, umpire uninterested, and it's good work by the batters. Good awareness, scamper through for the 1. 2 fairly tall players, they can eat up those yards. 22 yards is nothing when you're that tall. Score moves on to 6. I mean, the required run rate, just 5.35 and over, but like I said, they want to try and get it wrapped up quickly, have a good impact on their net run rate. Bhatti waits at the top of his mark. Always got to adjust your hair. He's doing them for pace here, he is. Really good work. tidy over until that point. Just missed his length slightly. And Sean Finley, a man in form, is not going to miss out, and he eats that up all day long. Well, end of the second over, the Windees, 11 for none. Yeah, just 2 coming from the over until that point, but all they need at the moment, really, 1 boundary and over, and they'll be well on top of this run chase. Need just 5.2 and over, and they're going at 5.5s. And it looks like Aaron Johnson wants rid of his helmet, because I think the Indians are turning to spin. We saw this yesterday. Spin comes on, helmet goes off every time. Aaron Johnson doesn't want his helmet on when he's facing the slower bowlers. He wants full 360 vision. Gives a lot of work for the sub to do too, running on and off with the helmet all the time, especially when they were playing the Americans yesterday. We were always having spin from one end, pace from the other, so on and off every over as Johnson looked to change his helmet on and off. And Sunny Patel, as they look to go to the spin, which is just what you suggested, Jay, wasn't it? You said you wanted to see spin as quickly as possible. They did the business for the Windees, and now they need it for the Indians.
Absolutely. The wicket has a lot to offer the spinners. And the Indian side have some good spinners. They have spinners who can bowl leg break, off break. They need to use them, but what I'm surprised is that they're not attacking. They need to have an attacking field here. They don't have much runs on the board. They need to have a slip in, a short leg. As you see, there's nobody around the bat.
Yes, well bowled.
They need to put the pressure, multiple fielders around. That's the only way they can turn this game around. Because the longer these two stay in, the more of a danger sign this is for the Indian side. Sunny Patel continues. That's a good shot, straight to the fielder though. As you can see, Georgie, even the fielders are staying very close to the circle. They should be more close to the batsman, a little more more inwards to the circle. Shouldn't leave any room for singles.
Yeah, that's the problem at the moment. They're all going to have to be in, put that pressure on, cut off those singles. But then it also gives a chance for them to go aerial, just like that. And that's well fielded in the end. It's not been the quickest outfield. We saw it yesterday as well. And wicketkeeper there thinks perhaps there was a chance of a run out. I think he was the only one with his arm in the air. But that's the thing. If they're all in stopping the single, then these batters just got the chance to go over the top. Well, end of 3 overs. The Windees 14 without loss.
Good over from Sunny Patel, only 3 runs off the over. But again, it's the pressure that's the missing. They need to build pressure around the batsman. It's a low scoring total. They need early wickets. A wicket 2 here could open the gates.
Well, Stephen Weir going to bowl his second over. Fairly tidy first, just the 5 coming from it.
Stephen looks very promising. I like his energy. He has the pace, he has the swing.
Well, it's a mix-up in the middle, chance of a run out. And in the end, actually, the fielding gave him a chance to scamper through for a run. He was sent back. Yeah, nice length. Decides, no, I'm not going. Then the misfield. Never run on a misfield. We hear that so often. He would have been absolutely miles out if that had hit.
Wow.
Not even in the frame.
That was a chance. The Indian team has to do everything right in this match to win this match. They got to be on target with runouts, fielding, catches.
Thing is, if they can tick over in ones, that's absolutely fine. They won't mind that at all. The Windees side.
Exactly, and that's what I've been talking about. The pressure is not there. Easy singles. Fielders need to be in close more. They need to block the singles, put the pressure. They have to create a wicket here.
Short, not timed. Looks to launch it into the leg side, ends up playing it sort of onto his own legs. Done for pace. We saw with the Indian side, no one really ever got going. They struggled to read the bowlers. They couldn't quite time it. And that's a nice looking shot, but does pick out the fielder. Short. Good work by the keeper. Gets a little applause from his bowler. Great work diving to his left. Oh, who would be a keeper, eh? Far too much diving on the floor for me. Wig in. Nice length, and that does beat the diving field, and that's going to race for 4. Again, the blemish on a pretty tidy over, just the 2 from it until then. So 6 from that over, ahead of the run rate. The Windees, end of 4, and they're 20 without loss, so they need just 85 runs, and they've got 96 balls in which they can do it. Well, that's a lovely, lovely looking view of the deck. This is what we're playing with today. Sun's out, drying up the outfield nicely as well. So the 2 teams playing this afternoon as well will have one eye on this. And captain's thinking, right, if I win the toss, what am I going to do? Because they saw how much the Indians struggled setting a target, which is in complete contrast to yesterday's game. Well, it's the left-handed Sean Finley. Facing up. He's also decided he doesn't want a helmet. And he's bowled him! Well, That is the breakthrough the Indians needed. Sean Findlay, off the back of a half century yesterday, could have been dangerous, could have got this done quickly, but he's been done up by Sonny. Bale's flying, and he's got to go for just 9 from 11, and that is the wicket the Indians needed. We talked about early wickets. It looked like the Windies were going along nicely, just ticking it off, getting it done, but that's the breakthrough. Just swung through it too early. Beaten by the spin, beaten by the turn, and the fist pump celebration. Well, Sean Findlay, he has to go for 9. Windies 20 for 1. Well, that brings Aaron Jones to the middle. He does some side shuffles, kicks his legs up, kicks his bum, has a swing of his bat. And yes, he's got a job to do. It's not the biggest job in the world, but there is something in this pitch. And these Indian bowlers aren't going to let you get away with it quickly. Aaron Jones takes guard. Well, Sonny Patel, he went first ball. He was another one of the victims of Walsh Jr. today, but he's just trying to get his own back on the Windies side. And they've gone up. The fielders really like it. The umpire is unmoved. He can't believe it. Struck on the pad. Sonny P struts off. He looks irritated. He thought he had his man there, and he thought he had 2 in 2. He doesn't look happy. He thought he got it there. He went for the 2nd in 2, and he really could have been returning the favour, picking up 2 in 2 himself. Perhaps just turned a little too much going down leg side, but pleading with the umpire. That's nicely defended into the offside. Yeah, this is tidy, this, from Sonny Patel. From the wicket, and then you back it up with the dots. Try and push that run rate back up. And they'll scamper through for the 1 there. Try and push that run rate back up. Just get a little bit of pressure on. The scoreboard pressure isn't there at the moment, so they've got to do something. Try and make that happen. Try and get these Windies players to be innovative, do something different. Take risks, because if they just leave them to prod and poke, they're going to get there. Well, they think they've got their man now. And, well, Sonny Patel, what an over. A wicket, thought he had another wicket. Pressure on, just the single, and then again, more pressure with that final ball. So at the end of 5, Windies 21 for 1. So final over of this power play. Well, just the 1 wicket to fall. That of Sean Findlay, the man of the day yesterday. Bowled by Sonny Patel, an absolute rip snorter. He went for 9. And the 2 Aarons. A pair of Aarons. No idea what a collective noun for Aarons would be. But they're out in the middle trying to get this done quickly for this Windees side. They need 84, and they got 15 overs in which to do it. So 1 over of the power play left. And Sorawodi Shuvo will be throwing the ball for the first time today, continuing with spin, which is very much what has done all the damage today, both the Windees side and the Indian bowlers. It's a nice tidy start. Left arm going round the wicket, and that's up over the top. That's the way to do it. 6. Easy as you like. Shorter into the pitch, and nothing you can do with that. Well, that'll just be the one, but it's all they need at the moment. Nicely kept out. This is tight bowling after that 6. So 7 from the over. They're well on the way, the Windees. 28 for 1 after 6. That's the end of the power play. There's a strong breeze blowing around this Mosa Stadium, but the sun is out and the cricket is on, and that is actually all that matters. Some real thinking to do for this Indian side. Who can they turn to make a difference? We're now out of those power play restrictions. Looks like Ahmad Butt will take the ball. Just taking their time here, these Windees batters. Having a wiggle, marking guard. Well, Ahmad Butt adjusts his field. Right, 28 for 1, end of the power play. 6 overs gone. That target, 105. And that's flicked away, just using the pace. They sort of plod through for the one. Lots of field adjustments going on here. They know that these two players like to go big, like to go aerial, should they get the opportunity, but not striking a hefty strike rate at the moment, either of them. And that's tucked him up. That long run up. Bustling in. Short. Struck on the pad and a muted appeal. He sort of jumped and thought maybe he had something there. Perhaps more in hope than reality. And they'll come through for the one leg bye. Yeah, hitting him on the thigh pad. He'll be going well over. That's really tight, really tidy bowling. In again. Short and nicely worked. Into the onside. Mix up in the middle. Chance of a run out. Also almost trampled on. I mean, you'd know about that, wouldn't you? If Aaron Johnson runs over you. But in the end, he's safe. And no one's been trampled. So we're all okay. It's just a normal day, everyone. Score remains 30 for 1. Just the two off this over so far, the run and the leg bye. Yeah, it would have been well out should that have been taken cleanly. Lovely looking cover drive. Beats the diving field. There should be two here. But he's sent back and they'll just settle for the one. So just the three coming off that over. The end of 7. The Windees 31 for 1. Well, these two, they know they can just prod it around. They only need 74 of 78. So just under a runner ball. So sort of a boundary every over would kind of be what they'd be looking at. And there's the wiggly worms. I mean, not too dissimilar, but there was that stage when they really petered out, lost lots of wickets. Sort of the latter quarter of their innings, the Indians. And the Windies know that they can just find a few boundaries earlier, just get really ahead of that run rate, and it should be easy pickings. But as it stands, 31 for 1 after 7. It's nicely straight batted, just the one. Left arm round the wicket, darted in, goes for the reverse sweep. Picks out the fielder. Well, definitely not what he was aiming for. Looking to launch it into the leg side, gets all sort of tangled up. Wicketkeeper does good work recovering it, and it's try and build these dots. Surawardi went for 7 from his first over, and again darted in, played nicely off the back foot by Johnson. Again picks out the fielder. That's high elbow from Jones. Well, tidy over. Just the 3 coming from it. End of 8. Windees 8 for none. 71 off 72. That is the equation. Well, there it is. Cricket in America. It has arrived. The American Premier League. We're on season 2. And it wouldn't be America without multiple stars and stripes fluttering in all directions. And that's something you're going to see more and more with cricket as it continues to grow around this wonderful country that I've finally made it to after my 29 years on this earth. Ahmad Bhatti to start his second, just 2 off his first over. Good decision to bring him back on. Economical, keep it tight, keep it tidy. And just tucking up the batter. And I mean, the wicketkeeper went up, arms up. And Jones rehearses the shot, flicking the leg up nicely, flamingo-esque. There is a breeze out there. It's just a few signs down to my left, really fluttering around. The flags in the distance. Full, and that's well kept down, kept out, and it's good scampering through for the 1. You can't get bogged down in only looking to try and work in boundaries. They've got to keep this run rate up. At the moment they're behind it. It's up at a runner ball 6 and over. So take those singles where they can. Rotate that strike. User feet tries to come down the pitch. Well, it's definitely not where he's aiming to hit it. Looking to club it over square leg. Gets in a bit of a tangle, and third comes to clean it up, but they do get the 1. Goes as leg buys. In again. Short. Again looks to swing into the leg side. Not timed. Chance of a run out. They think they might have their man. Umpire unsure. Really quick work by the bowler to pick up and turn. Well, The stumps have been well and truly dismantled. Umpire looks to try and stick them back together. Nice looking stumps. Even they've got stars and stripes on them for season 2 of the American Premier League. And again, Ahmad Bhatti. And again, fields off his own bowling. He's everywhere. Well, this was that run-out chance. Johnson set off down the pitch. Was a bit of a tanker, struggling to turn and go backwards. So instead ran backwards and was almost the end of him. Like turning icebreaker. Short. Not got a hold of it, but they'll come through for one. Really good over this. Well, Ahmad Bhatti is looking to try and drag the Indians back into this. Just 3 from that over. 37 for 1 after 9, the Windies. Remember, that target is only 105. They're going to need to accelerate somewhat. Another over before drinks. And they'll be saying, look, I know it's only 105 that we need, but we still need them. And at the moment, we're nearly halfway through this chase, and we've only got 37. And you've got 9 wickets in hand. There's some good hitting in the dugout to come out to play. And they can't afford to just let this slide away from them.
Bowling change, right arm over. Mid and leg. Little bit more, just a little.
Well, Ravi Bopara has been handed the ball. Top scored today for the Indians. Looked like he was going to try and accelerate. End. And he opens his account with a dot. So we're into the 10th over here, and the Windies have only got 37 on the board. They've got 9 wickets in hand, but they're letting this get ahead of them. That run rate is just pushing up and up and up. And that's when the pressure starts to build. And again, another dot ball. Build these dots, build the pressure, push the run rate up. That's all they need to do at the moment, these Indians, because it means that the Windy side are going to have to start taking risks, which they've not been too good at so far today. They haven't wanted to do it. Again, right on the money, Ravi Bopara. First 3 almost landing in exactly the same spot. And Aaron Jones just struggling to do anything with it at the moment. Bopara in again. Well, that's why he just missed his line there. Went for a bit of extra pace. Great work by the keeper. Well, the first run from the Bopara over is a wide, so it's, at the moment, weirdly enough to say, with the target of only 105, they will take runs however they can, this Windies side. And again, right on the money from Bopara. Well, Aaron Jones has only made 14 from 25 deliveries. It's not a strike rate to be writing home about, but at the other end, Aaron Johnson, 8 from 22. just eating up those deliveries, not managing to do anything with it. And again, Bapara is right on the money, and Jones can't do anything with it. Well, that's a mighty fine over from Ravi Bapara. Just the one run coming from it, the wide, and he was unlucky there. It wasn't a hefty wide, it was just wide. Just the one run. 10 overs gone. The Windies only 38 for 1. They need 105. And at this rate, they're not going to get there. Glorious day out there. Sun's out. Very windy. But talking of Windies, they need to have a good team talk here, because that wiggly worm is just falling back a bit in the race. They need 105 to win. At the moment, 38 for 1 after 10 overs. And we're going to have a quick drinks break, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. Well, welcome back. Refreshed, rejuvenated, and ready to rumble. That is what the Windies need to be, because they are actually building a bit of a mountain for themselves. They need only 105, but after 10 overs are 38 for 1. So they've got the wickets in hand, but they're just not scoring. Yes, some tidy tight bowling from the Indians, but they're not really trying anything. They don't look like they're really trying to go for too much here, and they need to start thinking about it, because they need 67 from 60, so up above 6 and over now, more than a run a ball needed, and it's doable very easily, 67 from 60, but they've got to find some boundaries. And that's flicked away into the leg side. Jeremiah Lewis on to bowl now. Change of bowler, gone for a bit of pace. Need to inject a bit of life into this innings, these two, because they're getting bogged down. And that's full, and he's just struggling to get that away. Aaron Jones eating up deliveries. Strike rate of 50 at the moment. Johnson at the other end, just 9 from his 23 faced. And perhaps digging himself in a little bit of a hole. Well, looks to try and be aggressive, and he's done for pace. And you can see by the body language and the look of the Indian players here, I mean, they knew 105, 104 wasn't really enough, they thought, when they finished their innings. They knew they had a job to do. And they've done it so far with the ball, kept it really tight, not taken the wickets, no, but not allowed the run scoring. And that's signalled wide by the umpire, and actually the Windies will take runs however they can at the moment. They're going to have to be quick. Yeah, that's what they need to do. Need to rotate this strike, be quick, take on the fielder, put the pressure on. That caused the misfield then, putting that pressure on the fielder. Get them almost thinking about the run-up before they've done the fielding. Just bringing third man up. Full and played through the covers. There's protection out there. At this point, they can't just do it in ones. There was a time when they wouldn't have minded just rotating the strike, totting up the ones. But now they've got to find a boundary. It's been a long time. Again, picks out the fielder extra cover. Well, end of 11 overs. So 42 for 1. That's the score on the board at the moment. Look at that runway. Only going along at 3.8 and it's pushing up to 11. Look at that Manhattan. We didn't have a lot to write home about, we thought, on that Indian side, but perhaps there's been more in this pitch than first anticipated, because these Windies batters are really struggling. 42 for 1 after 11 overs. They still need another 62. All right, so just a little confusion out in the middle, but that's all right. There's still one to come in this 11th over. After that wide delivery. Full and played along the ground to extra cover. No damage done. End of the 11th, 42 for 1. Few fans in. Youngsters, start them early. That's what I say. Bring the kids to the cricket. Get them interested from day one. Turn that pram around. That kid wants to watch the cricket. But at the moment, not a lot to write home about for the Windies. They did the job with the ball, restricting the Indians to just 104, but their chase is not going to plan. 42 for 1 after 11, just 9 to come, and Ravi Bopara, he went for just 1 from his first over. Just the one wide. Really tight and on the money, and Jones struggled to get him away. It's Johnson facing up this time. Can he do anything different against the wily English professional? Well, he takes him on. He goes aerial, finds the gap. First ball 4. Yeah, good change up from Ravi Bopara. He saw Johnson look to try and move early, mixed up his length, put it a little wider. Slower ball, swung through it well before it reached him. That run rate pushing up. Yeah, it's the cutter. Yeah, pace back on, just prodded down to backward point. But it'll just be 1, and you can't do it in ones now. Jones again struggling against Bopara. Hasn't scored a run off him yet. Faced a whole over of Bopara earlier and didn't manage one. So 47 on the board. And that's chipped up in the air, and it will land safe, and Jones finally scores a run off Ravi Bopara. And that closes out the 12th over. Windies 48 for 1. Yeah, more kids in. Get the kids into the cricket. Start them early. Give them a ball. Get them to bowl. And show them what a great game it is. And that's what's great about tournaments like this. You know, families can come in, have a watch, get excited. Cricket in Houston. Yes, please. Just a bat change for Aaron Johnson there. He's going to hope it makes a lot of difference, and it launches it well over the boundary multiple times, because that target, 105, looks quite a long way away. 8 overs remaining and only 48 on the board, but only the 1 wicket to go, so they can risk taking chances. They're going to have to take on this bowling, because otherwise they're just going to plod around and meander, not make the target, Yes, they might see out their 20 overs, but they're going to fall short. And Sunny Patel is only bowler to pick up a wicket so far. And again, that's just chopped into the ground. Aaron Jones does not look comfortable at all. He's again back strike rate below 50, 16 from 34, chomping his way through deliveries here. Score moves to 49, edging to that 50, this Windees side, but edging to 50 isn't going to win you a game. Again, goes for the sweep. Well, slog sweep in the air, goes for 6. That's the way to do it. Break the shackles, take him on, go aerial, go aggressive. And you could be on your way to victory. That's the only way they're going to do this now. They're going to have to be aggressive. Lovely bit of work. Down on one knee. Fielder perhaps thought maybe he was in with a chance. Take on the spinner. Shorter, darted in. And they think they've got their man, and they have. He's gone. 6. Wicket. That's the way to do it. Sunny P. What a recovery. He has his second. The Indians, they have their second, just as Aaron Johnson was looking to inject something into this innings. He goes. It took a while. It took a lot of pleading, and the umpire's finger slowly went up. And Aaron Johnson, he's got to go. Struck on the pad, looking to swing across the line. And it's been painful at times. He goes for 21 from 30. Windees 55 for 2. Out to the middle, that brings Jonathan Fu. Took a catch earlier and then I think he went off the field, had a look at his foot for a while. He seems all right, walking fine, strolling out to the middle to join Aaron Jones. Well, Jonathan Fu, I'm sorry, but you haven't got a lot of time to play yourself in here. You're going to have to go big quite early because your team are well behind. You need 50 off 44. And Sunny Patel has 2. 2 for 11 and still got an over and a bit up his sleeve. So that's the equation. 50 from 44. Target 105. And he's off the mark. Well, Aaron Jones has got to do something here. He's flitted around a little bit, chopping up deliveries, letting that run rate get ahead. Needs to find a boundary. 17 off 35 is not going to get them up to that target. And again, just plays it to extra cover. Well, 13 overs gone, 7 to come. Windees 56 for 2, so the equation 49 needed off 42 balls. Ravi Bopara, really tight and tidy so far today. Kept his lines, kept his lengths, been really good. First over went for just 1, just the wicket coming from that. And he'll be back on to bowl again. Unsurprisingly, going to keep the Englishman on. Well, at this point, the Windees looking at a little bit of problems. Jonathan Fu's just come out, replacing the dismissed Aaron Johnson. But he's come to join Aaron Jones, who is struggling along that strike rate. Not a lot to write home about at the moment. 17 from 36, and he's facing up Jonathan Fu. 1 from 1 so far, facing up against Ravi Bopara, starting his third. And pace on, up in the air, goes aerial, straight into the boundary rope. Jonathan Fu, that is how to inject some life into this innings. It's hit the boundary rope almost on the full, umpire signalling 4. And that is just what they needed, the Windies. Well, Jonathan Fu, how do you do? Music blares around the ground, and that is just what they needed. First ball of the over. Ravi, I'm not hanging around here. Shorter, tucks him up a little bit, but Fu works it into the leg side. Good recovery from Bopara. And now Aaron Jones, he's seen what Jonathan Fu is doing at the other end, and that's what he needs to try and do. He needs to take on this bowling. He needs to try and find that boundary, and there it is again. Just hold the pose at the end on the full, and just gets rid of our signage. 44 from 40, that is the equation. Aaron Jones. Well, chance of a run out. Jonathan Fu goes full kamikaze, Mission Impossible style, rolls himself back in. All good. Fielder never even let go of the ball, Jonathan Fu. You're just showing us that you could be a stuntman in a former life. Oh, dot ball, so this over so far, the 5 coming from it. Just can't seem to get him away. He's got your number at the moment. Two to come in this over. Bopara again finding that good line, that good length. Just dropped his hands, Jones, and finally gets himself off strike. He won't mind watching Jonathan Fu from the other end if he can go again. Go big. That's what he'll be hoping his batting partner does right now. That run rate pushing up towards 7. Well, Fu looks to give it the full kitchen sink, the washing machine and the dishwasher, and he misses completely. It goes through, ends it with the dot ball. So started with some venom, but in the end, 6 from the over. The end of 14, Windees 62 for 2. That required rate up over 7 now. Jonathan Fu, 6 from 4. Well, Aaron Jones, his run rate, not a lot to write home about at the moment. 18 from 39. You look at those Manhattans. Not the tall skyscrapers one might have hoped for. Premium Indians making 104 in their 20 overs. The Windees at the moment 62 for 2. Well, the music is starting to glare here at the Motor Stadium. The sun is out. The cricket is on. The fans are in. The families are in. And hello to anyone tuning in anywhere you might be around the world for this season 2 of the American Premier League. The defending champions, the Windees, taking on the Premium Indians. They restricted them to 104 in their 20 overs. And then their run chase, they're not making it look easy. 62 for 2 after 14. And Sunny Patel to start his final over. And he starts his final over. Happy to say that Jay Shah has slid elegantly into the chair next to me. Welcome back, Jay. You're here for the action now.
Absolutely. It seems like we're going to have a very close match. 62 for 2, 14 overs. It's a low-scoring game. Indian bowlers are doing a good job keeping the bowling tight. Required rate is 7. That's up in the air. Is it going to be a 6? Is it going to be a catch? It's none. It drops right in the middle of the two fielders.
Yeah, it's always a difficult, that one. Running backwards, having to look over your shoulder, judging the distance. He went for the reverse sweep, so he's going for some kind of innovation. Fielder might have thought for a minute he was in with a chance, and it just plugged between the two of them. Again, full kitchen sink from Jonathan Fu. He is not holding back, and he's been bowled. Well, that is the end of Fu. Sunny Patel, he has his third today. Jonathan Fu, he came out, he swung hard. First ball, big 4 on the full, on the boundary rope. Tries again, and he's bowled, and he has to trudge back for just 6. So
what is happening here? The Windies are having a hard time scoring 105. Who would have thought? Indians turning this game around. Couple of more wickets and game on.
Very much game on. Well, Jonathan Fu well out of his ground and really quick work behind the sticks. That required rate nearly at 7.5. And Sunny Patel, what a day he is having.
This is what American Premier League is about, creating new stars. And we have one here today. Sunny Patel, 3 for 13. In a low-scoring match. With only 105 on the board, it seemed like a walk in the park, but obviously that's not the case here. Windees struggling.
Yeah, and what can Gajnan Singh do here? And it's one of those things we always say, you can't judge a pitch until both teams have batted. Yes, we say 104 wasn't enough, but we're thinking yesterday they made 156, and that was a completely different ball game. Low-scoring thriller, that's what we're in for.
Well bowled. It's a tricky pitch. That's what it is.
Yeah, the left-hander faces up. Round the wicket from Sunny Patel. Fields off his own bowling. Well, he looks to swing and is off-balanced, ends up down on one knee, and it just goes through to the keeper. Sunny Patel, they're just not reading him today. He's having a good day, and actually it's signalled wide by the umpire. And you won't mind that as a Windies fan. You'll take the runs however you can.
Great line. Sunny Patel bowling very well. Indians are back in the game. Great job. Appeal for a caught behind. No, says the umpire.
Well, Sunny Patel, what a day he's had. They're all smiles, and that is the spirit of the American Premier League. Players from different teams still showing camaraderie. Well, they won't be too unhappy, the Windies, that is the end of Sunny Patel. He finishes his 4 overs with 3 wickets for 14. The Windies, after 15 overs, 64 for 3. That target of 105 is still 41 runs away. Five overs in which to get it. Aaron Jones, he's still out there. 19 from 40. Gajnan Singh yet to get off the mark. Jonathan Fu, he came, he swung, he found a boundary, and then he went again. But Aaron Jones is playing more of a test match innings than what his team need from him in this T20 setting.
This has turned out to be a great thriller. Is this match going to go right down to the wire?
Aaron Jones on strike. Stephen Wigg just 7 from his 2 overs.
That's remarkable, isn't it? Amazing bowling. I think he will be the key for the Indians. If he can take a wicket or two, it's game on.
Nicely played, good pace. You feel 1 wicket and they're well on top, the Indians. I think they'll be feeling pretty good out there at the moment. They know Aaron Jones isn't going along at much of a lick. The new batter in, Gajnan Singh, has faced 4 deliveries and still to get off the mark.
Gajnan Singh, very well experienced batsman, represented the United States cricket team. Great talent. Very, very good timer of the ball. His team needs him here. Faced 4 deliveries, no runs yet. But I can assure you, he is a dangerous batsman.
Left arm over the wicket.
And he's bowled him! Gajnan Singh is gone.
Well,
Indians.
You said you wanted a wicket for Wigg, and that is just what they've got. Bowled him. You talk about the US international. Well, he goes without scoring. And you feel the Indians are well on top in this game now.
That is pace. Couldn't time it because the ball went to his bat faster than he expected. Took the inside edge.
Well, that target of 105 looks a long way away at the moment. 65 for 4 after 15.2. And it brings El Capitano, the captain, Jamar Hamilton. He comes out to the middle, captained well so far. He was good behind the stumps, good with his field placements. But he's got a job to do here. Well, Stephen Wigg, he'd earned that. Bold pace, been economical, not let him get a hold of him or use his pace in any way. And now he's had his first scalp of the day. And has he got another in his sights? Jamar Hamilton adjusts his gloves and his helmet. And he's off the mark. In again, left arm round the wicket. Don't mind it being dealt with in dots at the moment. You feel like the Indians are well on top in this game. They've got Jones's number, 21 from 42. 1 to come in this over from Wigg. His first wicket of the tournament. And you can see a few nerves out in the dugouts round to my left. Left arm coming round the wicket. Use of the feet. Shuffles down the pitch. Well, that breaks the shackles for Jones. Over extra cover. 2 bounces, 4. And that closes out the 16th over. The end of 16. Windees 72 for 4. That equation, 33 needed. .33 from 24. We're in for a nail biter here. The music's blaring, the fans are in, and just 4 overs remain in this first of our double headers today. This afternoon, you've got the excitement of seeing the premium packs in action for the first time in Premier League 2, American Premier League Season 2. They will be taking on the premium Americans, who were defeated by the Windees yesterday. But for now, all eyes are on the action here at the Moser Stadium as the premium Windees look to try and chase a modest total, it seemed, of 105. They need 33 from 24. Captain Jamar Hamilton out there. He's 2 from 2 alongside Aaron Jones, 25 from 43. He's plugged away. And it'll be Ahmad Bhatti to start his 3rd over. Full flighted dugout. Short, bowled him. Well, well, well. The premium Indians, what a fight back this has been. Jamar Hamilton, done for pace, express pace. He's bowled, he goes for 2. Windees, 72 for 5. Well, well, well. Did anyone expect this? When the premium Indians managed just 104 from their 20 overs. Can they recover it? That required rate up at 9. 5 wickets down now. For a long time, it was just 1. They looked to be cruising at the beginning, but they just got stuck, bogged down. That run rate's got ahead of them, and now wickets are tumbling while the pressure is on. And it brings Raj Nanan to the middle. Well, yesterday, when he came out to bat, he launched the first ball for 6, and actually they wouldn't mind that from him today. A couple of wickets for him as well. A nice caught and bowled. And he joins Aaron Jones in the middle. Lots of fist bumps all the way around. So the left-handed Raj Nanan facing up to the express pace of Ahmad Bhatti, who's just dismantled the stumps of the Windees captain, Jamar Hamilton. Shuffles down the pitch. Not quite where he was intending, and they are going to scamper back for a second. You're going to have to be quick. And I think he's home safe. That's what they're going to have to do now. They've got to start taking risks. They've got to go aerial and they've got to push for two. Not going to do it in singles. That required rate, 8.86 and over. Good work down at deep backward point. Yeah, it's now becoming a game of hit and run for these two. $75 for 5. Aaron James. He's been there a long while. 43 deliveries he's faced, just the 25 to his name. That's nicely kept down. And again, that quick running, scampering through for the one. Nanin backing up. But it's still only one. It's 4 from the over, and that rate is up over 9. The left-handed Nanan facing up to the express pace. Bouncer up in the air, top edge, fielder coming in. 3 fielders converge and none of them can get there. It lands safe. And they scamper through. But talk about having to take it on. Be aggressive, take risks. But it's just the one. And that's 5 and a wicket from the overs. The end of 17, 3 overs to come. The Windees 77 for 5. That target 105. It looked modest at the change of innings, but this Indian side have been absolutely phenomenal in the field with the ball. Been really tight, and the Windees have just never really kicked on or got going. Well, what a place to play cricket, eh? What a place. The only stadium in Houston here for season 2 of the American Premier League, and we have an absolute humdinger of a finish coming for you here. 3 overs to go. That target, 105. 77 for 5 is on the board. Aaron James, the set batter, yes, but he's not been striking it hard. He's facing up. And Ahmad Butt. Swing and a miss. All swing, no ding. Down on one knee, Rajnanan. He plays it again. He can't believe the pace that's gone past. Someone's put extra petrol in their Ferrari today. Swings again. And they just scamper through for the one. I mean, you wouldn't be too pleased to end up at the non-strikers when it's coming down at that pace, and you can watch your partner face it instead. He's got absolute wheels. Adil Bhatti. Right, James, what can he do here? 78 for 5. Just over 2.5 overs. to try and drag themselves back into this and make it 2 from 2, or the Indians open their account. Short, clubbed away into the leg side, one bounce. Fielder couldn't quite get there, but cuts off the 4. Gets the applause from the bowler. Well, everyone's up at the fence now. Anticipation, pace, full dugout. Gonna have to be quick. Are they gonna push for the second? James sends Nanan back, and rightly so. I think we're gonna be calling for another bat. Having a look at the toe there. James, 27 from 45. Not timed. Done for pace again. And leg by signalled by the umpire. Round the wicket this time. Off the toe again along the floor. And they're going to come back for 2. There's hesitation, but the throw comes in. Well, well, well. 18 overs gone. 82 for 5 on the board. That target, 105. They're not going to do it in once. 23 needed from 12. Nearly 2 a ball required by the Windies. And if you look at those wiggly worms, they're a bit behind. There was acceleration at the end from the Premium Indians, just pushed them up to that 104 for 7. 4 off the last ball. And just look at that, there was acceleration, and that's exactly what the Windies are going to need at this point if they want to try and hit that 104. 82 for 5, 2 overs to come, 12 legitimate deliveries. All of the Indian bench are out there, and they look very nervous for a side that are bowling against a team that need almost 2 a ball. At the tail, 82 for 5. Raj Nanan to face up, he's 6 from 7. And we saw yesterday he can hit big. 6 off his first ball yesterday. Well, he wouldn't mind that now. And it's short from Batty, and there's nothing Nanan can do with it. He's pleading with the umpire. And that goes down as a dot. Nanan not best pleased. .23 from 11. Up in the air, will land safe. They're going to have to scamper back for 2. They're going to have to push hard, push fast, and that's really good running from Raj Nanan. He comes back for the second, easily home. .21 from 10. More than 2 a ball now. They need to find that boundary. You can see it looks nervous on that Windies bench. This is not the fairy tale they would have expected.
Slower ball does for Nanin. Almost a run out. Chance of a run out. And he's gone. Well, well, well. These Indian side are all over the Windies right now. Really good work in the follow-through. The pick up and throw all in one motion. And Aaron James, it's not been an easy innings for him. It's been tough at times, and it's a painful finish for him. He has to go. He's run out for 27. And in the penultimate over, 18.3 overs in. The Windies 84 for 6. That target, 105. It didn't seem much at the beginning, but incredible work by the Indian bowlers, the Indian fielders. Look at that. Not even in the frame, in the follow-through. And that is game awareness at its very finest. 84 for 6, 21 needed off 9. Can Seals come out and do something magical for his team? Javon Seals, I mean, we saw him with that grab in the field earlier. You never know. It's not over until it's over. But there's only an over and a half left to go, and they need 21 runs. Well, Jonathan Fu, down to the left of my commentary box, he's actually still sat in his kit, helmet still on. A few of the teams later, the premium packs are in the house. They're watching. They know they're going to have to play these sides. The Americans lost to this Windies team yesterday, but be about to concede defeat to the premium Indians after managing to restrict them to just 104 in their 20 overs. Over and a half to go. Ahmad Bhatti at the top of his mark, directing traffic. What can he do here? He's picked up just the 1 wicket, but then the run out. Proper game awareness, that. Well, he's looked to swing. He had to swing hard, and it was well stopped by the bowler in his follow-through. And it's just the one. It's not going to do it. Eight balls to come. Ahmad Bhatti, can he pick up another wicket? Raj Nanin, he surveys the field. And I think at the moment, the field he's going to have to look for is the one well over the boundary. Aim for that.
Georgie, what do you think of this match? Unpredictable scenes.
I'm going to use the word humdinger. That's my word of the day today. Short up in the air. And it will land safe. Yeah, what a game we've had here. When we saw them restrict them to just 104, we thought this could all be over pretty quickly. And they'd be home having an ice bath. And having a burger.
Are about to produce a miracle. It's anybody's game, but seems like Indians are on top of everything right now.
Yeah, they are well and truly in control. Full up in the air. A little race to the boundary. 2 bounces, hits the boundary. Well, it's something. It's not quite enough at the moment. Right, 19 overs gone. 1 over still to come. And they need 15 from the final over. Who is going to be charged with the responsibility of bowling this over? 15 needed from it. We're down to a nail biter here. It is very doable. They can do it. We saw Raj Nanin. We know he can hit big swing, big levers. So, because of the over rate, actually only 4 fielders will be allowed outside the circle because of the timing. So, maybe something working in the favour of the Windies there. Indians going to have a think about that as they go through the tournament. Can't afford
this slow over rate. You don't want to have to push your fielders in. Only 4 allowed out. So 15 needed off the final over. Javon Seals, he's on strike. 5 from 2 so far. Not a bad strike rate. And he's going to have to survey that boundary. Nanan faces up. Up in the air, fielder comes in, and he spilled it. They thought they had their man. The bowler, he was celebrating. The fielder did all the groundwork, and he got there. It was in, and he pouched it, and it was out, and it was on the ground. And that, you think, could have been the game. And it was Savan Patel coming round from mid-on. He made the ground. He did really well, and it was just as he hit the ground, he spilled it. So just the one, but it could come. And 14 needed off these 5. A little glove adjustment for Javon Searles. 5 from 2 for him. He takes guard. Now Adil Bhatti has been absolutely on the money today. Conceded just 10 runs in his 2.1 overs. And that's played along the ground. Right, 4 balls still to come. Four to come, 93 on the board. 12 runs needed to win. It is doable. Adil Bhatti sets off, right arm over. Short, clubbed in the air. They'll land short of the fielder and they'll just get one. Well, mathematically, it is still possible. 11 needed. 3 balls. Could do it in 2. But you have to remember who the bowler is, and he is bowling at the lower order. Raj Nanan, yes, 10 from 12. But this has to go for 6. And it's not. He's got in a bit of a tangle, and it's going to race for 4. Or has the fielder just kept it inside? We'll just have a check on the boundary there. Yeah, definitely not where he was aiming. Just have a look. Good chase, really good chase. And it's touch and go. It looks very close, but he might have just kept his foot short of that boundary, you know. So it's just the 2. 2 to come. Swing and a miss. And chance of a run out. Mix up in the middle. The bowler races the batter, gives the ball up. He's run out. He had to go for it. He had to go for it. and it was all happening out there in the middle. Well, Raj Nanan, he lost the race with Batty, who then remembered that he could just pass the ball. And it was easy as you like. Ball moves faster than batter, and Nanan, he has to go. And the Windies, barring some kind of no ball miracle, have lost this game. The Indians, what a fight back. What a fight back. Incredible in the field with the ball. Tight, tidy, clinical. All of the words. And that brings Terence Hines to the middle. He strolls out. One delivery to come. And I think he's being told by the umpire that he needs a helmet in case he ends up on strike. But he is at the non-strikers. (96 for 6). Up in the air. Fielder coming round. Can he take the catch? No. That might be some phenomenal work out in the field. A little bit of a forehand to keep it inside the rope. And that is the game. It was inconceivable at the change of innings. They thought they might have done it, the Windies, restricting the Indians to 104 for 7 in their 20 overs. But the Indians have been absolutely phenomenal in the field. What a performance they have put in. They've defended their low total. We love a low-scoring thriller. And they have been absolutely amazing. The Windies, they won yesterday, but the defending champions have had the game handed to them today. And they couldn't chase it down. Couldn't even reach 100. And it's a win for the Indians. They are up and running in this tournament. There's work to do. Go to the drawing board for both teams, especially with the bat. The ball did all the talking today. And the Indians, they clock the win. There's handshakes all round. Incredible performance from Sunny Patel with his 3 wickets in particular, shining for that Indian bowling side. And the West Indies, they could just never, the Windies could just never get going. And so it's 1 from 2 for them. And the 2 teams that have arrived for their afternoon match will be watching on and got some thinking to do, how they're going to take on these bowlers, because those premium Indian bowlers looking pretty good. Ravi Bopara, he was tight and tidy, kept it very economical, and that's what you want, not necessarily just about put that pressure on. And they forced the Windies to have to try and do something different, and they couldn't do it. They could not do it.